Welcome to part one of Frameworks for Creativity. Here I explore the precedents for change through 3 snapshots of history that look at the links between culture, technology, and contemporary cities. I'd like to start by taking you back about 200 years to the year 1800. At this time, the dominant technology driving new urban development was water-based. The newly emerging cities of Manchester, New York, Sydney, were all creations of a culture and society that pivoted around the technologies of water and sail. In 1800, the major cities of the world were dependent on water transport for trade and communication. For many people at the time, the work they did, their lifestyles, opportunities, and aspirations were tied to the capabilities and limitations of wooden-hulled sailing ships. Log haulers, rope makers, caulkers, braziers, sailmakers were all assured of a bright future and continuing employment. At the time, nothing on Earth travelled faster than a large ship under full sail. It was the technology that defined an era. In the scientific world, the study of the natural sciences was preeminent, with the idea that all could be known and classified. However, little was known about public health, and many people died then from what we now know to be entirely preventable diseases such as cholera and typhoid. A century later, and the world was a different place. Railways had opened up the interior of all continents. No longer was a boat the fastest way to communicate. Cities such as Melbourne, Delhi, Chicago were created with the railway at their centre. The railways provided opportunities for new forms of work, individual communication, and personal discovery. Unfortunately, these cities had railways, but only nascent water and sewerage systems. In fact, in Australian cities, it was only the threat of an imminent public health catastrophe that encouraged necessary spending on such infrastructure as water and sewerage. In contrast, the railways were so ubiquitous that while you might die of typhoid or the plague, there was a special branch line and train to the crematorium. Tramlines and railways dominated urban culture in 1900. Another 100 years later, and railways are no longer at the pivot of our society or our city development. The emerging cities of the 20th century, Houston, Los Angeles, Canberra, have all been created with the car as the centerpiece. System that is far more flexible than railways, providing infinitely more control and choice for many more people than ever before. Today, scientific thought, though, is concerned with chaos and complexity. There are none of the old certainties in life, even if sectors of our society can't imagine anything different. Likewise, the big public health issues are no longer around waterborne disease and malnutrition, but are such issues as mental health and stress. Whether revered or reviled, the car in the year 2000 was the technology that has defined our cities. To sum up, in a mere 200 years, our concepts of city and culture have changed dramatically as the dominant technological systems have in turn changed. Thus, there is the potential for significant change to occur in the future.